Sometimes we hear from families that perhaps my questions are not being heard as I would hope them to be, or the constraints of the office, the limitations in time seem to be a barrier. And I think that that is a realistic concern of many families. But I think the other side of that is being cognizant that a medical home is a very busy place, and time is of the essence, and time is a constraint for all involved. That's not to say that the questions are not important and that they should be dismissed. Sometime, if the family feels that I need more attention to these particular questions, it's worth asking the physician, how can I do this best with you? Is it better for me to set up another appointment just to talk about my questions? And if so, when would that work for you? It's often helpful, again, if there is a list of questions, to be able to provide that in advance of the appointment. If the professionals in the medical home recognize that today, unlike the last 2 or 3 visits, I now have a new set of 8 or 9 questions, and I know that in advance, then I can, as the medical home provider, I can either look at those and say, okay, we can address this, or I can look at those and say, there's no way I can address this in the time frame that we presently have set. So let's look at another way of how do I answer your questions.